A big announcement coming out of Microsoft. They are going to launch their own AI large language model to compete directly with ChatGPT and of course Google's Gemini large language model. This is going to be a massive big step in the AI arms race between these companies. Now you might be thinking, hold on a second, didn't Microsoft have a relationship with OpenAI and use their ChatGPT models in many of their applications, like on Bing Search for the Copilot and many other applications across Microsoft as well? Then yes, you would be right. Microsoft and OpenAI have had a great relationship when it comes to AI for a long time now, and Microsoft are looking like they're going to step away from that relationship because they're going to build their own model. So far, Microsoft have sunk $10 billion into OpenAI as part of this agreement where OpenAI can share their systems with Microsoft for them to use them. So why invest so much money into OpenAI to then start your own AI model? Well, we're going to get into that in a second, but first of all, let's get more information on this announcement from Microsoft. This new AI model Microsoft has started training is called MAI-1, which of course probably stands for Microsoft AI version 1. Not very imaginative, but still makes sense. But the most interesting part about this announcement is who is heading up the AI division within Microsoft. It's a man by the name of Mustafa Suleman, and he has a good connection in the AI space with both Microsoft and with Google as well. His history is pretty interesting. So Mustafa Suleman used to work for DeepMind, which is of course one of the first companies who invested heavily into artificial intelligence all the way back in 2010. Now of course, as you remember, Google acquired DeepMind back in 2014, so that kind of shows you how long Google has had its eye on the artificial intelligence space for a very long time. This basically means that since 2014 Google has been looking at AI, but they were still beaten to the punch by ChatGPT, by OpenAI, despite all of that history with AI. But Suleman left DeepMind and started his own AI company with another co-founder, and this was called Inflection, and this company of course focused on AI large language models and other applications for artificial intelligence. But where things get really interesting is that Microsoft recently invested a lot of money into Inflection. They paid $650 million to Inflection in order to license the startup's software for their own application. So Microsoft has been looking at partners for AI for some time. Of course, they have the relationship with OpenAI and ChatGPT. They've invested in Inflection in order to use their systems as well. So now we're in a situation where Suleman, who was heading up Inflection, is now working directly with Microsoft, heading up the AI division there now today. So you might be thinking this is part of a deal. Microsoft have invested into Inflection, therefore that $650 million they sunk into Inflection will be bought over into Microsoft, so they're kind of buying the research and then starting from there. Actually, no. Microsoft has started from scratch. They are creating their own AI model from the very beginning, training it from scratch. They have not bought over any technology, or so they say, from Inflection. So it will be very interesting to see how this develops with Suleman on board with Microsoft. So wait a second, Microsoft have invested $10 billion into OpenAI in order to license ChatGPT for their own applications. They invest $650 million into Inflection, again to license that startup's own AI applications. So why now? Why is Microsoft deciding to go out on their own after investing so many sums into all these other AI companies? Well, it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because if you're going to invest heavily in an area that you see as the future, it kind of makes sense to kind of see what other people are up to. It gives you some great insight into what's working, what's not working. So in actual fact, Microsoft has been pretty smart about this, because learning from people who have been in the game, who are experts, and basically buying their knowledge and their time is actually quite a good deal for Microsoft, who are absolutely loaded. And I actually think all of these companies are seeing the AI arms race as the next search engine opportunity. When you think about it, search engines, Google has complete dominance. They dominate the market, and Bing launched in 2009, and for all the time since 2009 till today, they've barely made a dent in Google's market share. Now, the reason for that is, of course, Google had a massive first mover advantage. They really focused and honed down on search. They doubled down massively, and in the end, they grew their business to such a point nobody could technically compete. They became a noun. People Google things. They don't Bing things. So that's a really big point that Google has made over the years. So now comes AI, which is the next gold rush in the tech space, and I think all of these businesses are seeing themselves as the next Google in this space. It's basically the information discovery space when you think about it. So all of these companies are pushing this arms race in terms of AI. You have Microsoft, loads of money, they're now starting to invest in AI themselves today after partnering with other businesses. You have Google Gemini, which is a massive AI large language model being used across multiple applications in Google, and they're going to keep developing and growing that model. And you of course have OpenAI with ChatGPT, who broke the mold and actually brought AI into the public sphere. People know them as the biggest player. So right now, in terms of who has the advantage, it is of course OpenAI. Google and Microsoft are not just going to let OpenAI dominate the space, they're going to use their massive resources to try and come back into the space themselves, which is exactly why Microsoft have done this. They've done this because they want to join the arms race, they want to be the people at the forefront of this arms race in the AI space, and they're not going to do that partnering with other businesses who hold all the IP, all the technology, and just keep taking money from Microsoft to grow their own businesses. It was only a matter of time before Microsoft decided to go down this route themselves, and the day has come. But what do you think? Do you think AI large language models will be the future way we discover content and information online, or do you think there is plenty of life left in the search engine? Well, personally, I think search engines still have a long lifespan to go, and the reason I say that is because if you ask your Auntie Doris or whoever it may be, the older people in your family, normies who aren't watching YouTube channels like this, they probably don't even use ChatGPT, but I can guarantee you they use Google. It will take a long time for Google to lose its dominance in the AI space, and even then, they are investing heavily to make sure they continue to maintain their dominance using their system, Gemini. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I reply to pretty much every comment on all of my new videos. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, check out the other content on the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.